I don't have many memories of Vrindavan with Srila Prabhupada because I first came in 1976 and was one of the crowd, you could say. Not part of the inner crowd. I just joined the temple opening, which is going, watch. Incidentally, I don't know if anyone pointed that out, it's not covered in the Prabhupada Lilamrita, the Vrindavan temple opening. It talks about the preparations, but the actual opening and Srila Prabhupada's triumph is not mentioned there. I just joined in London, and I didn't even know there was a temple opening until sometime afterwards, when all of a sudden the number of devotees increased. And I asked, what's happened? There's so many devotees. Oh, they all just came back from Vrindavan, the temple opening. Somehow or other, I'd been around for a few weeks, and no one told me about that. I was a very young boy at that time, and many devotees were already thickly in Srila Prabhupada's service. I was very young, 18 years old when I joined. And I went in 76, then again in 77 I went to Vrindavan. But my relationship with Vrindavan has been defined largely by a statement I saw of Srila Prabhupada in one letter, in which he said that Vrindavan is for inspiration and our real work is all over the world. So even though I've lived in India most of this life, there are many of my godbrothers and godsisters who have spent much more time in the West, who actually know Vrindavan and visited Vrindavan and been around the places much more than I have. And I also feel that some qualification is needed to enter here. Anyone can go, but Vishaya Charya Kobe Shuddha Hobe Mon Tobe Hamaharabo Sri Vrindavan. Actual going to Vrindavan is giving up sense gratification and being blessed by the mercy of the 6 Goswamis and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which we all received through Srila Prabhupada. So I don't have so many memories. If I have a little time, I'll get around to those few memories of Vrindavan when Srila Prabhupada was here. One observation is that we could consider why Srila Prabhupada called this the Krishna Balaram Mandir and put Krishna Balaram on the central altar. He said that, he wrote that the purpose is to, I'm paraphrasing, to show to the world Brajendra Nandan Jai Shachi Shuta Hoilo Se Balarama Hoilo Nitai. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda are Krishna and Balaram. And we might just consider, how do we from here, how from this temple, is that being realized? Is that being taught? Mostly, and it's unsurprising, the devotees here and the visitors mostly tend to gravitate toward Radha Shama Sundar, but Srila Prabhupada called it the Krishna Balaram temple. Now, by the preaching of Srila Prabhupada, which is continuing with his movement, the tremendous change from the 1970s, the reception of ISKCON and the Western devotees, and we can go to public meetings and openly declare Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead without getting interrupted within about 3 seconds by someone declaring that no, you don't know. There are all many gods and you can't be a Hindu, you have to be born a Hindu. And things have changed a lot. But still, people don't know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That should be one of the missions of the devotees of, or the followers of Srila Prabhupada within India especially, people have a general idea of Krishna, and they may have heard of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Srila Prabhupada came as the Senapati Bhakta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that should be a mission. I'm just suggesting here from Krishna Balaram Mandir, consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Krishna Chaitanya means Krishna consciousness. It literally translates like that. So that's just a thought. Congratulations to all the devotees who have served here throughout the years. It's not an easy place to serve, apart from the cold and the heat and the diseases that Western devotees previously more so tended to get, and the austere conditions. But it's always been a difficult place in as much as it's a very testing place. Mayapur is more a place of mercy, but here in Vrindavan we're told that you can make a lot of advancement. Whatever you do, you get 1,000 times more result, and you also have to pay 1,000 times more for offenses. It's a very difficult place, and I especially like to congratulate those who've been the temple presidents here, especially Panchagora Prabhu, who has been the temple president here for 14 years. And just and I always think that it's the most difficult service in ISKCON, more than being the head of the GBC, which is a difficult service, no doubt, having to deal with we're all lucky. If you're not on the GBC, think yourself lucky, because the kind of things they have to deal with all the time. I was invited several times to be on the GBC, but it's too much, all the difficulties you have to deal with. But in Vrindavan, things have changed, but still there's so many different people to deal with, and you have all the senior devotees who all have their opinions about what's not being done properly and what should be done, and legal matters, and there's land matters, and so many things. Very, very difficult service. So congratulations to all of those who have done that service. We might have hoped to have seen some more devotees here. Of course, we miss, many have passed away also, who were thickly involved in the construction of this temple and who were there at the opening. But we would have hoped to have seen Guru Das Prabhu and Pradyumna, among others. But in 2 years' time is the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's passing away, and that will be the next mega festival, and maybe we could invite them. See, probably they were invited. You want to say something, Dinabani? Is that a mic in your hand? No? Okay. So we can invite them. Also, many devotees have been thickly involved with this temple for many years. Of course, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj just recently left, has been, even before the opening, was thickly involved. Indra Prabhu is very famous. Dinabandhu Prabhu is rightly very famous. He's Brijbasi, bringing Vrindavan all over the world. How about Mukunda Datta Prabhu? There are two in Vrindavan. I'm referring to the head pujari. He's been head pujari here for, 43 years? 43 years! That's another difficult service anywhere, to be a head pujari anywhere. Many, many devotees have contributed. They've been here for some time. It's the Sankirtan movement. We're all together. Sanghe Shakti Kalo Yuge. We all get strength from each other in this Kali Yuga. So my obeisances to all of you who have served here at some point in time. one forgotten devotee, it seems almost forgotten, who was instrumental in the arrangements and the construction of this temple, is Tejas Prabhu. And even at the time, he wasn't known so much as a Vrindavan devotee because he was in Delhi and he was given service by Srila Prabhupada to do collection, which wasn't easy by any means, and he also went through many, many austerities, and Srila Prabhupada had him oversee accounts, and in so many ways. He's been writing his memoirs for many years now, and we hope we'll see them. But I just wanted to mention his name because somehow it's his fate. He's always kept himself in the background, and he was very much instrumental in and trusted by Srila Prabhupada, a confidant, you could say, of Srila Prabhupada in this. So many book distributors were here at the opening, and it was a treat, transcendental treat for the book distributors, especially from America. In those days, America was the epicenter of the whole movement. Srila Prabhupada had the vision to develop in India, and his disciples didn't. And he had to practically force devotees. There are so many stories of big stalwarts coming from the West to help Prabhupada, and just within a few days, literally, running away. The book distribution was going on, and we were taught in the West, distributing books, especially taught about Mayapur, that every book you sell is a brick in Mayapur. So it's a great treat for the book distributors to come and see what they're distributing. Prabhupada's amazing transcendental plans for raising funds. You distribute books, you preach Krishna consciousness in the West by doing this, and at the same time, money comes in for developing, especially these two projects, Vrindavan and Mayapur. And I believe the first evening arati of Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Krishna Balaram, and Sri Sri Radha Shamasundar Lalita Vishaka was by the three book distributors, Tripurari Maharaj, Vaisheshika Prabhu, and Sura Prabhu. So maybe we could invite Tripurari Maharaj also. Maybe it's a controversial thing to say so, but he was also very much instrumental in organizing the book distribution, and he was right there. And there's that famous anecdote. Who was saying that yesterday? That when Vishaka Mataji was trying to get a photo of Prabhupada offering, and Tripurari Maharaj was stood there right in front of Krishna Balaram, and she whispered to him, if you stand there, you can see Prabhupada offering this arati, but if you let me, the whole world will see. And she took the photos, and the whole world is seeing, up to the present time, those amazingly, as we heard Dinabandhu Prabhu say this morning, every time Srila Prabhupada turned around, he was more ecstatic and more ecstatic and more ecstatic and more ecstatic, installing Krishna Balaram and seeing all his disciples in bliss. And he had what was he doing? Building a temple nowhere. It's called Vrindavan, but actually you had to go into Vrindavan, right? Vrindavan was there, and Krishna Balaram temple was here. And there were fields in between with peacocks. It was just in the middle of nowhere, but Srila Prabhupada saw. He had a vision. And how that vision is going to expand more and more and more and more. Vrindavan has changed. That you can see. Fields are hard to come by nowadays. It's mostly all concrete. It's urbanized, commercialized in many ways. But also, the spirit of devotion has become much stronger, and I don't want to say that in any insult to esteemed guests who we should take blessings from, the Goswamis, who Srila Prabhupada recommended we should take guidance for deity worship from Radharaman Goswamis. But so many new temples are there, and the idea that devotion to Krishna, of course it's not an idea, but the whole concept of that, it's become central in Indian culture. It already was there, but as I was saying, even in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada, he warned in one letter, there are so many Mayavadis in Vrindavan. And we saw yesterday on the video, Yashomati Nandan Prabhu speaking, the most famous Bhagavatam speaker in the whole of North India was a Mayavadi. He loved the Bhagavatam and he commented on it, but all impersonally. But nowadays we see so many new temples are coming up, and so many kathas are going on all over the place. And bigger temples than this one are built. Many devotees coming for the first time from overseas, they're surprised to see how small Krishna Balaram temple is. With such effort, Srila Prabhupada built this temple. And in the beginning it might have seemed that, why have such a big arrangement in the middle of nowhere? But now it seems like a very small arrangement, and much bigger temples have come up. And other temples are frequented much also, but they're never going to have the atmosphere that this temple has. I'm not just saying that rah, 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 but Srila Prabhupada implanted here a spirit of devotion and standard of deity worship. Time's up. Okay. Hare Krishna. All right, I have to do what the town president says, right? Ex-town president. Anything else? So many things to say. All right, Hare Krishna. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I can suggest something. Everyone always has something to suggest. Next time you make an arrangement, you could put, because you don't want Srila Prabhupada's picture to block all the cameras, but put it higher than the speaker, because it really seems quite uncomfortable looking down at Srila Prabhupada. You can't see, but his picture is right here.